The kitchen smells like burnt toast and the coffee I brewed an hour ago, now cold in my chipped ceramic mug. I'm at the table, staring at a spreadsheet of our monthly budget on my laptop. It's Saturday morning, the kind where you'd expect a couple to be planning a hike or bickering over who's making pancakes. Instead, Emily's on her phone, her manicured nails clicking against the screen, her face lit up like she's texting someone more interesting than me. She hasn't said a word in 20 minutes. The silence isn't new, but it's starting to feel like a blade. Last night was the first real warning shot. We were at Tom and Lisa's barbecue, their backyard packed with neighbors, kids chasing each other with glow sticks, the smell of grilled burgers thick in the air. Emily was by the picnic table, holding a glass of rose, laughing too loud at Tom's story about his new boat. I was grabbing a Miller Lite from the cooler when I overheard her talking to Lisa. "Oh, Matt, he's fine. Just, clockwork. Same old routine every day." Her tone wasn't playful. It was sharp, like she was slicing me open for everyone to see. Lisa gave a polite laugh, then glanced my way, checking if I heard. I did. I didn't say anything, just cracked open my beer and joined the guys by the fire pit. But it stuck with me. Clockwork. Like I'm a machine she's tired of winding up. This morning, I'm done letting it slide. "Hey," I say, closing my laptop. "What was that last night? The clockwork thing at Tom's?" Emily doesn't look up. "What are you talking about?" "You know exactly what. You called me predictable in front of Lisa, Tom, half the neighborhood." She sighs, long and dramatic, like I'm interrupting her social media empire. "Matt, it was a joke. Chill out." "It wasn't a joke," I say. "You threw me under the bus for a laugh." She finally looks at me, her blue eyes narrowing. "You're making this a thing. It's not a big deal." "It's a big deal when you say it in front of our friends," I say. "You don't get to cut me down and call it humor." "Oh, please," she says, setting her phone down with a little too much force. "You're so sensitive lately. What's next? You're gonna cry because I didn't like your shirt?" "Don't do that," I say, my voice steady. "Don't twist this into me being the problem. You said it. Own it." She laughs, sharp and cutting. "Own what? That you're predictable? Newsflash, Matt, you are. Same job, same car, same everything. I'm just saying what everyone sees." "Everyone," I say, leaning forward. "Who's everyone? Lisa? Tom? The neighbors? You think they're all laughing at me?" Lisa's voice from last night echoes in my head, her hesitant, "Well, you guys seem steady." It wasn't a compliment. Emily smirks, leaning back. "You're paranoid. It was just Lisa." "Then why say it loud enough for the whole backyard?" I ask. "You wanted an audience." Lisa, standing nearby last night, had shifted uncomfortably, muttering, Maybe keep it light?" Emily just waved her off, like she was directing traffic. "You're blowing this out of proportion," Emily says now, picking up her phone again. "Drop it." "I'm not dropping it," I say. "Don't do it again. I'm not your punchline." "Or what?" she says, her lips curling. "You'll write me a memo?" "Try me and find out," I say, standing up. I grab my keys and head to the garage. My '67 Mustang is out there, half restored, a project I've been chipping away at for years. The air smells like oil and metal, and the sandpaper in my hand feels like control. I spend 3 hours sanding a fender, the rhythmic scrape drowning out the noise in my head. Emily doesn't come out. She doesn't care what I'm doing, as long as I'm not in her way. If I'd known how deep this was gonna cut, I'd have started packing right then. Later that afternoon, I'm back in the kitchen, making a turkey sandwich on the counter cluttered with Emily's half-empty coffee mugs and a stack of unopened mail. She's on the couch, her laptop open, typing like she's on a mission. The TV's blaring a reality show about wedding planners screaming at each other. But she's not watching. Her focus is on the screen, and when I walk by, she tilts it away, just enough to make me notice. "What's that?" I ask, slicing the sandwich in half with a knife that's duller than it should be. "Nothing," she says, too quick. "Just work." "You've been saying that a lot," I say, grabbing a plate from the cabinet. "Work doesn't make you jump when I walk in." She doesn't look up. "You're paranoid, Matt. It's just emails." "Emails don't make you angle your screen like you're hiding a bomb," I say. "What's going on?" "Nothing's going on," she snaps, closing the laptop with a snap. "God, why are you so obsessed with this?" "Because you're acting like you've got something to hide," I say. "If it's just work, show me." She laughs, but it's forced. You're ridiculous. I don't have to prove anything to you. Then don't expect me to trust you. I say, taking my sandwich to the table. You want to play secrets? Play them alone. She doesn't respond, just opens her laptop again and starts typing. I don't push it further. Instead, I text Mike, my buddy who runs a gym downtown. He's been asking me to help with his evening boxing classes for months. I've always said no, too caught up in family time. That's just me and Emily sitting in silence. You still need a hand with the gym? I text. Hell yeah, man, he texts back. You in? Monday and Wednesday evenings, starting next week, I reply. Done. Beers on me, he says. That's my first move. I'm not waiting for her to pull the next stunt. I'm done hoping she'll remember we're a team. I'm taking my time back. Monday evening, I'm at Mike's gym, wrapping my hands before the class starts. The place smells like sweat and rubber mats, the kind of honest smell you don't get at home anymore. Mike's showing a couple of new guys how to throw a jab, his voice booming over the thump of gloves on pads. He's an ex-Marine, built like a tank, with a laugh that shakes the room. Matt, you sure you're ready for this? He asks, grinning. These kids are going to test your patience. Let 'em, I say, flexing my hands in the wraps. I need the distraction. He nods, not pushing. Mike's been through enough to know when a guy's carrying something heavy. The class is brutal, but good. 10 guys, half of them barely out of high school, all trying to prove they're tougher than they look. I'm showing a kid named Ryan how to keep his guard up when my phone buzzes. It's Emily. Where are you? Dinner's ready. I don't answer. I'm not her errand boy. I finish the class, help Mike stack the mats, and head home around 9. The house is quiet, the kitchen counter cluttered with takeout containers and a half-eaten salad. Emily's sitting there, arms crossed, her face a mix of irritation and something sharper, like she's been rehearsing this fight. You didn't text me back, she says, her voice clipped. I was busy, I say, grabbing a water from the fridge, the door creaking as I open it. Busy doing what? She asks. You're never out this late. Helping Mike at the gym, I say. Monday and Wednesday evenings. I'll be late those nights. Her eyes narrow. You didn't tell me. Didn't know I needed to. I say, keeping my tone even. You're out late for your book club, yoga, whatever. I figured we're both adults. That's different, she says, stepping closer, her sneakers squeaking on the linoleum. I tell you where I'm going. Do you? I ask. Because I don't recall you mentioning that new account you're funneling your paychecks into. Her face freezes for a split second, then she recovers. That's for my side project. You know I've been planning something. I know you didn't mention it. I say. Just like you don't mention what's on your laptop that you keep hiding. She laughs, but it's hollow. God, Matt, you're so paranoid. It's just work. Then show me. I say, leaning against the counter. Right now? Open it. She doesn't move. You're being ridiculous, she says. I don't have to prove anything to you. Funny, I say. I thought marriage was about trust. Guess I got that wrong. You're impossible, she says. Turning away. I'm not doing this. Doing what? I ask. Having a conversation? Or just getting caught? She spins back, her voice sharp. You're turning this into a fight for no reason. I'm not hiding anything. Then why's your laptop always closed when I'm around? I ask. Why's your phone locked tighter than Fort Knox? Because I have a right to privacy, she says, her hands on her hips. Not everything's about you, Matt. Never said it was, I say. But when you start hiding money and screens, it's about us. Fix it, or I will. I don't wait for her response. I head to the shower, the bathroom door rattling as I close it. That's my second move. I'm not chasing her for answers. I'm not begging for honesty. If she's playing games, I'm not playing along. I'm setting my own rules. The next evening, I'm home early, trying to keep things civil. Emily's in the living room, flipping through a magazine, the TV on low. I mention the dinner party at Dave and Karen's tomorrow. You still want to go? I ask, testing the waters. She doesn't look up. Yeah, why wouldn't I? Just checking, I say. Thought we could ride together. She shrugs. Sure, whatever. No discussion, no warmth. Just another brick in the wall she's building. At Dave and Karen's the next night, their dining room is packed. Us, them, a couple from down the street named Jen and Paul, and some guy from Dave's office named Greg who won't stop talking about his Tesla. Dave's loud, as usual, telling a story about his latest fishing trip, while Karen keeps the wine flowing, trying to smooth over his interruptions. Emily's in her element, charming everyone, her laugh a little too perfect, like she's auditioning for a role. I'm quieter, watching her work the room like it's her stage. Then it happens. Dave's going on about his new boat, and Emily cuts in. Matt's still tinkering with that old car of his. I swear, it's like his mistress. The table laughs, but it's not friendly. It's the kind where people glance at me to see if I'm in on it. I'm not. I set my fork down, the clink loud enough to get attention. Funny, I say, looking straight at Emily. Last I checked, a mistress doesn't cost me every penny I earn. The room goes silent. Emily's smile freezes. Dave tries to laugh it off. Hey, boats aren't cheap either, right? Karen jumps in, offering more wine. Anyone need a refill? Greg, the Tesla guy, leans forward, smirking. Sounds like someone's keeping score at home. I don't keep score, I say, locking eyes with him. I just don't like being the punchline. Emily's voice cuts in, sharp but controlled. Matt, it was a joke. Don't make a scene. I'm not, I say, holding her gaze. You made the scene. I'm just setting the record straight. Jen shifts uncomfortably. Maybe we should talk about something else, she says, glancing at Karen. Good idea, I say, before Emily can respond. How's your new deck coming along, Dave? Dave jumps on the lifeline, launching into a story about his contractor. Paul chimes in, asking about permits, and the table moves on, but the tension lingers. Emily's silent for the rest of dinner, her smile tight. I don't care. I've drawn a line, and everyone saw it. In the car, she's fuming. You humiliated me in front of everyone, she says. You humiliated yourself, I say, eyes on the road, the streetlights flickering past. You don't get to make me the butt of your jokes and expect me to smile. It was harmless, she says. You're blowing this out of proportion. Then why's your face red? I ask. You don't like it when I call you out, do you? You're turning into someone I don't know, she says, her voice low. Good, I say. Because I'm done being someone you think you can control. She doesn't respond. When we get home, I grab a blanket and crash on the couch, the springs creaking under my weight. Not because I'm mad, but because I'm done pretending we're okay. That's my third move. The next week, I'm at work, going over project timelines with Sam and a new guy, Chris, who's been gunning for my spot on the team. We're in the break room, the coffee machine humming, the smell of burnt grounds in the air. Chris tries to throw me under the bus during a discussion about a delayed client report. Matt, you were supposed to handle the data pull, right? What happened? I don't flinch. I handled it, I say, pulling up the email on my phone. Sent it to you last Tuesday. Check your spam. Sam snorts, sipping his coffee. Nice try, Chris. Maybe read your emails before you start pointing fingers. Chris mutters something about a mix-up. I don't let it slide. Next time you want to call me out, make sure you've got your facts straight, I say. I don't miss deadlines. Sam claps me on the shoulder as we head back to our desks. You're on fire, man. Something's got you sharp. Just tired of people thinking they can walk over me, I say. He nods, lowering his voice. Emily stuff? Yeah, I say. She's rewriting the rules. I'm rewriting them back. Been there, he says, leaning against a cubicle. My ex pulled that crap. Tried to make me feel like I was the problem for noticing. You gotta hold your ground, or it's a slow bleed. I'm holding it, I say, just waiting for her to figure out I'm not bluffing. That night, I come home to find Emily on the phone, laughing with someone. The living room smells like her lavender candle, but the warmth is fake. She sees me and lowers her voice, turning away. I don't say anything. I grab my laptop and start browsing apartments, small, affordable places downtown. Not because I'm leaving tomorrow, but because I need options. I'm not trapped. I'm not begging. I'm preparing. A few days later, I notice Emily stopped depositing her paycheck into our joint account. I check the balance online at the kitchen table, the screen glowing in the dim light. It's lower than it should be. I wait until she's home, sitting on the couch with her laptop, the TV blaring a cooking show she's ignoring. Where's your paycheck going? I ask, standing in the doorway, the floorboards creaking under my boots. She doesn't look up. I'm keeping some for myself, she says, like it's no big deal. You've got your gym thing, right? I'm just being practical. Practical, I repeat. We share expenses. You don't get to change that without a conversation. I'm not changing anything, she says, her voice calm but sharp. I'm just taking care of myself. By hiding money? I ask. What's next? You gonna lease a car without telling me? She laughs, but it's hollow. You're so dramatic, Matt. It's not a big deal. It's a big deal when it's our money. I say. You want to play solo? Fine. But don't expect me to cover your half. Her eyes flick up, and for a second, I see worry. You're making this harder than it needs to be, she says. I've got it under control. Do you? I ask. Because it looks like you're betting on me to clean up your mess. I don't need you to clean up anything, she says, her voice rising. I'm handling it. Then handle it, I say. But don't expect me to bankroll your secrets. I don't wait for her response. The next day, I open a new bank account and redirect my direct deposit. I don't tell her. If she wants to play games with our finances, I'm not waiting for her next move. That's my fourth move. Friday at work, Sam catches me in the parking lot as I'm heading to my truck. You coming to the block party tomorrow? He asks, tossing his gym bag in his car. Heard it's gonna be a big one. Yeah, I'll be there, I say, not sure about Emily. He raises an eyebrow. Trouble in paradise? Paradise left a while ago, I say. I'm just figuring out my exit. He nods, not pushing. You got this, man. Just don't let her walk all over you. Too late for that, I say, climbing into my truck. But I'm done rolling over. The block party is the next day, the whole street buzzing. Kids on bikes, music blasting from a Bluetooth speaker, tables loaded with potluck dishes. Emily's in a sundress, working the crowd like she's running for mayor. I'm by the cooler, talking to Dave about his boat. When Emily calls out from across the yard, Matt, you gonna stand there all day or actually help with something? The chatter around us dips. A few neighbors glance over, then look away. It's not the words, it's the tone, like I'm her hired help. I set my beer down on the table, the glass clinking, and walk over, calm but deliberate. I'm helping, I say, loud enough for the nearby folks to hear. Just like I help pay for this life you're so good at showing off. Her smile falters, but she recovers fast. Oh, come on, Matt, I'm just teasing. I'm not, I say. You want help? Ask. Don't perform. The air shifts. A neighbor, Mrs. Carter, pretends to adjust her potato salad. Dave clears his throat, muttering, Hey, Matt's got the right idea, pitching in. Karen steps in, holding a tray of cookies. Anyone want dessert? Emily's eyes flash, but she doesn't push it. Not here. I walk back to the cooler, grab my beer, and join Sam by the grill. He smirks. That was smooth, man. You shut that down quick. Had to, I say. She thinks she can play me in public. Not anymore. Later, in the car, Emily's silent for the first 5 minutes, her hands gripping the seatbelt. Then it comes. You're embarrassing me on purpose now, she says. You embarrassed yourself, I say, the engine humming as we pull onto our street. You don't get to talk to me like I'm your assistant in front of the whole street. It was a joke, she says, her voice tight. You're turning this into a war. Then stop firing shots, I say. I'm not your target. She doesn't respond. When we get home, I head to the garage, crank up the radio, and work on the Mustang until midnight, the smell of primer grounding me. I'm not hiding. I'm just done playing her game. The following Saturday, we're at a coffee shop, meeting Lisa for a quick catch-up. I've noticed Emily's secrecy ramping up. She locks her phone faster now, her laptop always angled away. The coffee shop is busy, tables packed with people on laptops or scrolling their phones, the air thick with the smell of roasted beans. Lisa's telling us about her new job, her voice bright with excitement. Emily's nodding along, but she's distracted, checking her phone under the table. Lisa notices. Everything okay, Em? She asks, sipping her latte. Yeah, fine, Emily says, flashing a smile. Just work stuff. I don't buy it. Work stuff, I say, leaning back in my chair, the metal creaking. Like that side project you keep secret? Emily's smile tightens. Matt, not now. Not now, I say. You're the one texting under the table. If it's just work, show us. Lisa raises an eyebrow, looking between us. What's going on? Nothing, Emily says quickly. Matt's just being paranoid. Paranoid, I say. You're hiding money, hiding your laptop, now hiding texts. I'm just asking for transparency. Emily laughs, but it's forced. You're making a scene, Matt. Can we not do this here? I'm not doing anything, I say. You're the one dodging. If it's nothing, show Lisa your phone. Prove me wrong. Lisa shifts uncomfortably, her cup clinking on the saucer. Guys, maybe take this home. No, I say, keeping my eyes on Emily. If it's just work, there's no issue. Right, Em? Emily's face flushes. You're embarrassing me, she says, her voice low. You're embarrassing yourself, I say. I'm just asking for the truth. She doesn't show the phone. Instead, she grabs her purse and stands. I'm done here, she says, walking out, her heels clicking on the tile. Lisa looks at me wide-eyed. What was that? Her trying to control the narrative. I say, finishing my coffee. I'm done playing along. That's my fifth move, calling her out in front of a witness, not to humiliate her, but to make it clear I'm not her pawn. It's a Tuesday when the credit card statement arrives. I'm at the kitchen table, sorting through a pile of bills, the overhead light buzzing faintly. I see it, a $15,000 charge from a financial company I've never heard of. My gut twists, but I keep my cool. I wait for Emily to get home from her yoga class. The statement sitting on the table like a loaded gun. She walks in, her gym bag over her shoulder, her face flushed, hair damp from sweat. Hey, she says, like nothing's wrong. What's for dinner? I slide the statement across the table, the paper rustling. What's this? She glances at it, then looks away, tossing her bag on the counter. Oh, that. It's a loan I took out. A loan, I say. 15 grand. Without telling me. It's for my business idea, she says, like it's obvious, grabbing a water bottle from the fridge. You know I've been wanting to start something. You didn't think to mention it? I ask. We're married. That's joint debt. She crosses her arms, her face calm, but her eyes hard. Matt, it's my decision. I'll handle it. With what? I ask, standing up, the chair scraping the floor. My paycheck? Our savings. It's under control, she says. You don't need to worry about it. I'm not worried, I say. I'm pissed. You don't get to make unilateral decisions that screw us both. She steps closer, her voice low and sharp. Be a man, Matt. Deal with it. That's the line. The one she shouldn't have crossed. I don't yell. I don't throw anything. I just look at her, my voice steady as steel. You wanted to run the show? Run it alone. I'm out of your game. I walk to the bedroom, grab a duffel bag from the closet, and start packing. My work boots, a couple of flannel shirts, my favorite leather jacket, a dog-eared copy of Lonesome Dove I've been rereading. I leave her stuff untouched. The framed wedding photos on the dresser, the blender we fought over last year, her stack of yoga magazines. This isn't about taking things. It's about taking myself back. She follows me, her voice rising for the first time. What are you doing? Leaving, I say, zipping the bag, the sound final. You don't respect me. I'm not sticking around for more. You're overreacting, she says, her voice cracking. You can't just walk out. Watch me, I say. I sling the bag over my shoulder and head for the door, stepping over a pair of her sneakers in the hall. She grabs my arm, but I shake her off, firm but not rough. Don't, I say. You made your choice. I'm making mine. I walk out, the front door clicking shut behind me, the night air cool on my face. I don't look back. I crash at Mike's for a week, his spare room smelling like old gym clothes, but feeling like a sanctuary. He's got a fridge full of beer and no questions, just a nod when I show up with my duffel bag. I find a one-bedroom apartment downtown, nothing fancy, a squeaky secondhand couch, a bare fridge with just a six-pack and a carton of eggs, a single mug on the counter. I sign the lease, move my stuff, and feel lighter than I have in years. No more tiptoeing around her moods. No more waiting for the next jab. My first morning alone, I wake up to silence. No TV blaring, no passive-aggressive sighs. I brew coffee in a cheap drip machine, the gurgle filling the small kitchen. I fry 2 eggs in a scratched-up pan, the sizzle loud in the quiet. I eat at a folding table, the sun slanting through a window with no curtains. It's not much, but it's mine. The absence of her voice feels like freedom. Later that day, I meet my landlord, Hank, a gruff guy in his 60s with a handshake like a vice. He's showing me the mailbox setup in the apartment building's lobby, the keys jingling in his hand. You look like you're starting over, he says, eyeing my single bag of belongings. Something like that, I say, slotting the key into my mailbox. Seen that look before, he says, scratching his beard. My brother went through it. Divorce, right? Close enough, I say. Just needed a clean break. He nods, like he gets it. You'll be all right. Keep your head up. That afternoon, I sit at my folding table with my laptop, pulling up my new bank account. My paycheck's there, untouched by her hands. I allocate funds, rent, groceries, a chunk for the Mustang's new carburetor. No joint bills, no surprises. Just my money, my choices. I lean back, the chair creaking, and feel a weight lift. A month later, I'm at the gym, early morning, hitting the heavy bag, the thwack of each punch steadying my rhythm. Mike walks over, wiping down equipment. You look good, man, he says. Like you're back. I am, I say, landing a solid jab. Took a while, but I'm here. He tosses me a towel. My first divorce was like that. Thought I'd never get out. Then one day, you're just free. Free's the word, I say, catching my breath. Emily texts me a few times, trying to play nice. Can we talk? This is ridiculous. I don't reply. I said what I needed to say. I'm not chasing her, and I'm not explaining myself twice. One morning, I run into Karen at a coffee shop, the same one where I called Emily out. She's grabbing a latte, looking frazzled, her purse spilling receipts. Matt, she says, spotting me. How you holding up? Better than ever, I say, grabbing my black coffee, the cup warm in my hand. You? She sighs. Emily's been telling everyone you left her high and dry. Says you abandoned her with that loan. I laugh, short and dry. She took it out without telling me. That's her mess. Karen nods, like she's not surprised. She's struggling, you know. Keeps saying she'll figure it out, but she will, I say, heading for the door. Or she won't. Not my problem anymore. At the gym, Mike and the guys throw me a low-key welcome back to single life night. Sam shows up with a six-pack and a bad joke about divorce lawyers. You know why they're so expensive? He says, cracking a beer. Because they're worth it. We laugh, the sound echoing in Mike's cramped living room. For the first time in months, it feels real. I'm not pretending to be okay.